Hello, it's Linda coming to you from Valley Stamp and Scrap in Neenah, Wisconsin with our very first technique video. It is November 2nd, and we are going to be going through the double stencil technique. Let's get started. We're using Dina Wakely's mixed media tags for this, and we're going to be using Distress Oxide inks because they are so water reactive. I'm going to get started with dried marigold, and I'm just going to randomly add it to my tag and come through with some gathered twigs. And the purpose of these technique videos is to try to get you learning some things quickly and not taking our normal live with the maybe 45 minutes. So just sharing a brief technique with you. Everything that I am using today is available on our website at valleystampandScrap.com. And all you have to do is search for Technique Video 11-2-21. Technique Video 11-2-21. And I'm going to get two of our mixed media tags inked up here. I love Dina's mixed media tags. They take ink and paint, water, and sprays so well. They really do. And again, I'm coming in and getting just some gathered twigs added into this one. All the work that I'm doing right now is on the Altenew alignment mat. And it makes doing anything like this nice and easy. And cleanup is nice and easy. So we have our two tags all set to go. And I am going to be using from the Crafters Workshop for this first one, the Capricious stencil. Capricious is the name of the stencil. And we'll put it down on top of our tag a little bit at an angle, so it takes up, covers a little bit more on that tag. And I am going to spritz it with a good amount of water. I experimented with this a few times, kind of trying to get that balance right. And I'm going to let it sit for just a minute. And then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to immediately flip it over and lay it on top of the stencil that's next to it. What I found in doing this technique is that the impression on the second one has more detail than the impression that is left with the water on the first one. And I think that that is very cool. And I'm just going to use a paper towel to just dab on this, but you can still see the imprint on there. And I'll go over the top of this one doing the same thing, and we'll peel this one up. And look at that one too. So two completely different looks on it, but still using that water reactive ink is just so cool. Now, normally what I would do is I'd spray this and I would pick it up with another tag, but for the sake of keeping this video a little bit shorter, I know the horror that I'm just going to clean that up without taking some additional tags and pressing it down. The next one that I want to do, we're going to change colors, but again, because we're using that stencil image twice. So I've got my tag all set to go, and this time I'm going to be using some Stormy Sky. And again, all of these products are available on the website at valleystampandScrap.com. And in your search bar, all you have to do is put in technique video, and then the date 11-2-21. And I'm coming through with that newer color of Tim Holtz, the Prize Ribbon. And again, I'm going to repeat it over here. And I'll got my lids a little mixed up, but I think we're okay. So come in with that Stormy Sky. I have to be honest, when I went to do this video and I was pulling product, I did not have Stormy Sky in my classroom collection, which surprised me. I had to pull it off of the shelves. I was under the impression, mistakenly, that I had all of the colors. My tag slipped a little bit, so I've got some blotches in there, but I don't care. It's still going to look cool. All right, and we'll set that one aside. We'll start out with this one, and this time I'm using the, again from TCW, the Mini Flurries. Mini Flurries is the name of this stencil. Same process, laying it at an angle so that it covers just a little bit more. And come through and do a good spritz on here and let it sit for just a little bit. I've kind of shifted things a little bit that way. I don't know how that happened, but that's all right. And we'll pick this up and move it off to the side. Pull this one over and do the exact same thing again, pressing down just a little bit. We will use the paper towel again on here just to dab that water up. And then we'll do the same thing over here on that one and lift that one up too. And what we're going for when we do these, anytime we use reactive ink, water reactive ink, is it's not going to be a very detailed image. It's going to have that watercolory kind of fluid effect on it. So you can see that it's pretty easy to do this, and you could whip a bunch of these out in a fairly short amount of time, and it's a lot of fun. But here we've got two different patterns going on. So we used the mixed media tags from Dina Wakley. We used dried marigold, gathered twigs, rustic wilderness, and then stormy sky. I'd have those out of the camera, sorry about that. And the prize ribbon. And that's what we put down for the color. And then we used the Capricious stencil from TCW. And then we also used the Mini Flurries. And all of those, again, available at valleystampndscrap.com. And all you have to do is search for Technique Video 11-2-21. And you can see a list of all of those products. Thanks, folks, so much for joining me on our first Technique video. Have a great evening. Bye-bye now.